The narcissist is hijacking your emotions. Hey guys, are you in a situation with a narcissist right now and wondering how you got here? Are you scratching your head in disbelief, trying to figure out what you can do to either fix this situation and make it better? Or maybe you're trying to figure out how you can exit this situation. Well, I can tell you right now, you're not alone. It's a position that every person in a narcissistic relationship deals with. And if you feel things are hopeless because you don't know what to do, please stick around for the next few minutes, because I'm going to discuss how and why the narcissist is hijacking your emotions, and give you a few things you can do to help ease some of that pain you're in right now. The cycle's common in every narcissistic relationship, and it always starts out with manipulating your emotions. It's either by praising every positive trait you have, throwing you off guard, and making you believe you've found the perfect person. Or they'll take the victim approach, looking for sympathy or empathy for something painful they've claimed they've been going through. And both approaches work, because narcissists are highly skilled at sniffing out people that are vulnerable to either one of those scenarios. And let's be honest here, the majority of us all fall into one of those two scenarios. We either embrace all the praise they give us and it lowers our guard, or we believe their sob story and again it lowers our guard. Either way works for them, and they'll know within minutes, based on your reactions and responses to the initial contact with them, which approach they're going to take. Just on a quick side note, there's also the grandiose narcissist. You know the one that seems to have it all. The looks, the career, the money, the fame, whatever. That type of narcissist comes into our lives like a steamroller, and when we jump into something with someone like that, chances are it's going to be short-lived, because those people are so self-centered. No matter what you think you have to offer them, they'll become bored with you very quickly and just move on. No amount of ego stroking is going to keep those guys around. So here you are in this situation. You've tried to be a good person. You've tried to be there for them. You've put in a ton of effort to please them. But all of a sudden, it's just never enough. You've shown them you'll go to the ends of the earth to please them. And what do you get in return? You get abused on several levels. And I want to be clear when I use the word abuse here, guys, because abuse comes in all types of forms, whether it's physical, mental, or emotional. And I want to be crystal clear here. Any physical abuse at any level, any unwanted physical contact by anyone, narcissist or not, is completely unacceptable, and it needs to be your cue to leave the situation immediately. Because just like mental or emotional abuse, it will not get better. Once someone lays hands on you and you let them get away with it, it's surely going to get worse as time goes on. So how do they do it? How do narcissists hijack your emotions? Well, it all starts out with the little things. It's very hard to detect. It's a slow burn, as some people put it. In the beginning, it all seems fairly innocent. It could be something as simple as not responding to a phone call or a text in the amount of time they expect you to respond. But it's a sign you should be aware of, especially when they call you out on it. You'll be a little shocked at how they turn it into something way bigger than it needs to be. I mean, hell, maybe you just weren't in a position to respond immediately. This happens at one time or another in every relationship, right? But for a narcissist, it's different. Instead of giving you the benefit of the doubt, they start creating all this doubt. They become insecure very quickly, and that insecurity turns into jealousy. And instead of telling them just to calm down and accept the truth, they create this doubt in their mind and then project it onto you, making you feel as though you've done something wrong. And they'll retaliate by doing the same thing to you just to prove a point. It's super childish behavior. This is just one small example of how the narcissist is hijacking your emotions. But when you look at the bigger picture, it's quite significant. They'll start creating an ongoing narrative that you're doing something wrong, or that you must not care about them enough to respond to them fast enough. This is considered both mental and emotional abuse, guys. Do you find yourself apologizing more and more? Are you feeling like maybe you're becoming a bad person because you aren't meeting their expectations? When this becomes the norm, once they have set this stage, the abuse will continue to grow into deeper and heavier things. You'll start to think hard before you say or do anything. You'll start questioning your thought processes, and you'll be worried that what you say or do next will disappoint them, no matter how pure your intentions are. And when it gets to that point, they've got you. They've hijacked your emotions, and they'll be able to get away with anything they want because they know you won't stand up for yourself anymore. They'll use those past things you did against you. They'll constantly remind you of your downfalls. They'll beat you down emotionally until you become a shell of what you once used to be. But here's the thing, guys. You never had any downfalls. They created all this shit right before your eyes, and unfortunately you fell for it. They hijacked your emotions because you allowed them to do it. So what's the fix? How do you reverse the cycle of abuse going on in your relationship? Well, that's the hard part, but it can be done. So how do you do it? How do you gain back control of your life and decide to stop being abused by this person? Now, whether this is right or wrong, I'll tell you how I did it. I made the conscious decision to start setting some boundaries. The first thing I did was refuse to go down any more rabbit holes with them. I would immediately stop them the minute they tried using the past against me. And I set the record straight, using facts. Using the actual truth, and ignoring all the bullshit they made up about how they interpreted the truth. I stuck to my guns, and over some time, I regained my confidence and self-worth. I realized that what they had done to me was all for their own personal gain. This was never a mutual relationship. This was a one-way street from the very beginning. It was a difficult pill to swallow, and it forced me to get real. I had to, because if I didn't, the cycle of abuse would just continue to go on as long as I allowed it to. And that's the message I'm trying to get across today, guys. If you continue to allow the abuse, it's never going to go away. You have to stick up for yourself and for what's right. You have to regain control of your emotions. Take them back from the narcissist. Because if you don't do it now, when are you going to do it? Now, this probably isn't the best analogy I could come up with, but when your kitchen trash fills up with trash, what do? You take the trash out. This is similar. Your mind, your heart, and your emotions are filling up with trash right now. Are you going to let all this emotional trash overflow, or are you going to get rid of the trash? At the end of the day, there are only two things that will happen when you decide to set those boundaries. The narcissist will calm down and start treating you with more respect. I wouldn't hold my breath on that one. Or the relationship will dissolve because they won't be able to accept the new you. It's time to make a choice, and I'm praying that you choose you. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, keep watching for those signs. Stay alert, be vigilant, be strong, be brave, and go live your best life today.